Alright guys, today we're here to talk about the new batteries from Next Gen Blasters. I've had the opportunity to be testing one of these. Basically, my drum has always been running like a high-end build with the MOSFET. That build there at the end, I ran, well, it started off as a Gen 9, but I ran it for at least sort of 9 months, no issues. I put a Titan MOSFET in it. Started getting a little bit hot in the handle and on the motor. The issue I was having was the Turnigy battery is a 25 to 50C discharge. So it's a burst at 50 and then it'll settle back down to 25C. And the issue with that is that basically it was causing a bottleneck in my high-end build. So because it was a Satan M180S motor, Titan MOSFET, M130 spring, things pushing about 395, 398, just under 400. It was getting a little bit warm. Without a MOSFET, I was running like an M110 in it and an M150 motor, and it was fine. It wouldn't get hot, ran the treat the whole time, never had an issue. But yeah, like I said, as soon as I put a Titan in, started getting a bit hot. Same with the Aston MOSFET in this one. Wasn't getting hot, put a MOSFET in. I'm not talking hot straight away, I'm talking, you know, you've gone through quite a few mags and you'll notice it start to get a bit warm. The battery get pretty hot, not hot to sort of touch, but you grab it and you go, wow, that's actually really, really warm. And then in this one, there's no MOSFET. So basically that's just been, there is going to be a Titan go in it, so I will be making sure I run these batteries in it. Beauty of these batteries is they do fit inside the buffer tubes quite well. These builds here, you do have to pop this cap at the back just a bit for it to sit in there. Also to note, they won't come as like a nunchuck battery, they will be wrapped. So just bear that in mind. They are an 1800 milliamp 45 to 65C discharge, 11.1 volt. I do believe they'll be coming in a 7.4 volt as well for those of you who don't want to run an 11 volt in your build. But I can't recommend these batteries highly enough. Turnigy batteries, they are good for blasters you get out the box or sort of mildly upgraded blasters. When you're not pushing crazy FPS with crazy fire rate, Turnigys have always been my go-to. Still will use them, just in lower end builds without MOSFETs. But to save strapping a big battery to the side of your blaster, these batteries here are definitely the go. So I'll give a little demonstration of Turnigy on all these blasters, and then I'll hook the serious stuff battery up to it and see how we go. So Turnigy hooked up on the MPX, so it's pretty quick, and now hooked up to the Falcor. So we've got semi, full auto. Now I'll hook it up to the Gen 9 with the Titan MOSFET. So semi on binary on that one. Can already feel it's had about a 1 degree, 2 degree temperature change. Nothing, it's not even warm, but you can feel it starting to, it will keep going the more I keep sort of thrashing it, getting warmer. And then now we've got the serious stuff battery, the MPX. Now on the Falcor. Now on the Gen 9. So the Gen 9's on 3 round burst on the MOSFET. I haven't actually put that to auto. And yeah, not even a temperature change, this battery's still cold. Compared to the two, you can feel the difference. But I have ran this thing all day at the last Nuketown. I had a couple of people run the blaster for me, and the battery lasted from, we started at 2, and I believe the battery got changed at 7 o'clock. Whereas on these high FPS builds with the MOSFETs in them, basically I would go through at least sort of 3, maybe 4 Turnigys in a game day, whereas I could only picture going through 2 of these. They just run a whole lot better. People that were using them, basically I told them beforehand to keep a lookout on if the motor got warm and the handle, and when we pulled it out, once they'd finished feeling the temperature on the battery, the temperature was had barely changed, surprisingly, and also the grips weren't even getting hot. Under prolonged use, like, you know, sort of mag after mag on them, the motor would get barely warm, like it was barely noticeable, almost to the point where you wouldn't know if it was just from the warmth of your hand gripping the motor. Whereas on the Turnigy, after, you know, 5-6 mags back to back, you definitely start to feel the motor warm up. So definitely not bottlenecking the builds. Turnigys have always been my go-to. I've loved these things for a long time. I will keep using them on things like my AK and other blasters that I have, but I will definitely be switching to the serious stuff for the serious stuff batteries for the MOSFET builds. So there will be a video coming where basically I will be thrash testing in the video. But I can assure you these batteries are going to be the new go-to, especially for me. Just running a lot of higher end stuff. I can't see myself turning these batteries down. They will be more expensive, but definitely worth it, in my opinion. And this is a non-biased review. I've simply been handed the batteries to test, give an honest review on what I think, good or bad, and I was pleasantly surprised. Because I was starting to think I might have to strap a battery to the side of these blasters to actually stop them from heating up. So yeah guys, stay tuned for the next video, because I will be stress testing this battery as opposed to the Turnigy on all of these builds, and just basically seeing what mag after mag after mag does, and just putting that up there too. Also, you know, how long these batteries will last as opposed to the Nanotech Turnigy. Alright guys, thanks for watching, stay tuned.